Hello and welcome back to Slayer Society. My mouth is totally not full of macadamia nuts.
Were you
A
screaming,
very
wait, don't
special,
go? No, Jay, stop counting. I couldn't hear it. I'm sorry. We're good.
a special one shot, one of a kind one shot brought to you by itmeJP Productions X, that bronze girl, and of course all of these wonderful people here. Our party successfully crossed a washed out path, long not taken, that was pointed out to them by the wonderful scouter and tracker Silas. With some difficulty, they were able to get to the other side and down to the base of this ravine, actually in pretty good time, at least in terms of like how in-game time. IRL time, some obstacles
Look, that's
were crossed. Your
standard.
guys' rolls today are just
Yeah.
so finger licking good. Because there's things I think are never gonna come up, right? And one of them is like my weirdo DM ass coming up with 4 different mounts you can summon. And the fact that you summon the worst ones is hilarious to me. I just think it's so funny.
Well, I mean,
I
leave
would
it
like
to
to
a
say
visa.
you're welcome. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
That's
You're
a visa.
welcome.
A Visa of the Cursed Rolls is like your new title.
It's true.
All of you kind of are next to this rushing river, and as you're making your way along its banks, sure enough, you do notice like after a couple of dips and drops, it does slow in its pace, and eventually you find an area to where you can cross it. There's 5 kind of pegs, or I shouldn't say pegs, logs that have been hammered into the riverbed here, and they have a rope going across. Um, Without too much difficulty, you think you could hold on to the rope and just cross, getting wet that way. Avisa could probably swim across pretty easily here.
Nice.
I'll have a visa. This is your specialty. Why don't you handle the river? The rest of us will go by rope.
Yeah, I'm just gonna swim across. I'm not touching another rope, I don't think.
By all means.
Do I need to roll for anything or can I just swim?
No, go ahead and swim. As you swim, give me a perception check.
For sure, my specialty.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I
That's
hate that.
It's a grade
Uh-oh.
5.
As you're swimming, you are swimming. The water feels cool and relaxing.
Mhm.
And then you're swimming. And then you're swimming. And at some point, you're like, I'm not going anywhere. Like it occurs to you that you're swimming, but you're not really moving.
It's
Right,
like a
right.
lap
Can
pool.
I see the shore or am I like just in the middle?
You can see the shore. It's about 20 feet from you. And you become vaguely aware of something wrapped around your ankle.
Mm-hmm. Good, good, good.
It's my rope.
Is it Is it a rope?
Y'all are so cute. No.
No, it's some kind of
Definitely
Oh,
doesn't
God.
feel like a rope.
Do we see this at the same time she's seeing this? Do we see her not swimming? What do we...
You don't, all
can't
you see is
perceive
her go
anything?
under and then not come up.
Oh. Good. Okay. Is there a way I could attempt to cut whatever is touching my foot off of me?
God, it's gonna
As
mean
you
looking
reach
at it.
back to
Ugh.
cut it, you see her hair hanging around her face like limp seaweed. You see an almost distended jaw come up with wicked like lurkerfish style teeth, and you see skin paler and clammier than yours. It speaks to you. You actually speak one of the same languages as it. It speaks to you in Aquan and says, "Oh my, what have I caught here?"
You speak Aquan. Cool.
Besties.
I do.
Should I forget to pay a toll? Should I have? I'm so sorry. I didn't even check. I don't even know the legit. Is this your river? I am so my deepest and sincerest apologies. Let me go ahead and write you a check. Do you take? check?
Yeah, give me a charisma saving throw.
Do I need to roll anything different to make it a saving throw, or can I just roll charisma?
It depends on if you're proficient in saving throws. That's
Okay,
where, yeah,
okay.
a saving throw is my fancy way of saying charisma check with your proficiency bonus.
I think that should work. Did I do it?
Oh, yes, a 22.
Ooh, that's killer.
You see her kind of like draw back as you say this, and she says, "Oh, your manners are delicious.
Thank you. I get them from my mom, so.
And what beautiful skin you have."
I was just gonna say the same thing about your skin. I think you're gorgeous, and your hair. That's great.
And assuredly, most creatures that find themselves in the River Guardian's grasp are terrified by her. That's your charisma saving throw. But you are able to talk to her like she's a normal person. This almost takes her aback. You see her features soften. And as you do, the teeth kind of like retract back into her mouth a little bit, and the jutting jaw comes back and twists into like a still unsettling smile, the lengths of which reach from fin to fin. "Oh, well, do you travel in this river often?"
No, I'm with this like kind of like a monster hunting guild, and it's like one of my bigger first trips.
Monster hunter.
Yeah, but we're actually just like hunting for a mushroom, so I don't even know why.
Oh.
Kind of odd. But like
Well,
they just saved me. I almost fell off a cliff, and I would have never met you. So like super exciting that I didn't die.
oh, well. I suppose it is good that you didn't die. I was going to ask you to give me one of them to feast on, but if they saved your life, then
Yeah,
maybe they're not as disgusting as they look.
yeah, no, actually they were really thoughtful. Like multiple of them got together and threw me some they're actually nicer than I thought they would be. Normally I get kind of bullied. I don't know if you feel that way because it might be like an awkward
I
thing.
do feel that way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like the cadence of our voices are like it's because I'm kind of sweaty all the time.
No, that's your glitter, and you never should let anyone take it away from you.
Oh my god, and I didn't catch your name. What's your name?
My name is.
And the tone in that it's incredible.
Immaculate.
Yeah, I don't know how to write it down. I never learned how to write Aquan, but I can't wait to tell my friends. Do you mind if I finish swimming across?
You know, given the circumstances, I think I could allow you to pass.
Wow. Thanks. It's been do you do handshakes or should we a wave?
Of course.
Yeah, it's been
As she reaches out her hands, you see that her webbed hands end in these like wickedly curved claws, kind of similar to that of a Gila monster.
Do you get these done? Does somebody around here do your nails?
I just sharpen them on the rocks.
Oh my god, like mine are just so frail. This is incredible. It might be because my dad's like also not awkward. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I really appreciated meeting you. It's been a long time. So.
Yeah, rock on, sister.
Yeah, have a great day. I'm just gonna finish swimming across to the other side.
The rest of you cross and notice after a long
Too
period
long.
of time, Avisa comes up.
I think that
Oh, hey,
like halfway
hey,
through
guys.
that, I'm just. Can
I
she
could have
breathe
ended really
underwater?
badly.
She dead?
She's been in there a while.
Is there anything we need to know?
Yeah, well, there's a creature in the water, but we were just chatting it out, and their name is.
Are you okay?
And,
Are you? What was that?
Needs healing.
That's their name. How rude of you. And anyways, they're gonna let you pass. They were gonna kill you. You're welcome. Come on over.
Through the water?
No, I would probably stay on the logs.
We've been here waiting for some time for you to emerge. We're all crossed.
Oh, I didn't even notice. I thought I was. Should I? I'll swim. I think I went back to the other bank. That's so embarrassing. I gotta swim faster again.
No, Avisa, we're here. It's fine. You don't need to go anywhere.
You
We
see,
made
you did
it.
a good job.
We thought you. I just gotta like trail off. I don't finish the statement.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Sorry about that. Well, we can go. Sorry about. I did almost die, but I'm alive.
Great news. Fantastic. Silas, please. Where do we go?
Just keep going this way. We'll get there. Very, very, very quick.
I walk a couple steps. Silas, do you know where we're going, or are you just saying walk this way this entire time?
Well, just between you and me, where are we going again? I remember that we were heading somewhere.
Silas, they can hear. They're literally right there, and it like camera pans out. There's just 3 people. Like, dude.
You're not even whispering, Silas.
No,
You're practically yelling.
Oh, I do have problems controlling the volume of my voice. I'm sorry about that. I've been heading towards the peak right there with the pretty thick tree on the top. That because it looks nice, and I figured that'd be nice if even if we don't end up where we're going, we could at least maybe picnic there or something.
Great. Well, let's see what's there, I guess.
Silas, give me a survival check.
26.
damn.
Crushed it.
You are very easily able to find your way to this like beautiful tree that sits right at the edge of the flooded mangrove forest. This tree's roots go extending down kind of like a beautiful curtain. It's almost white and like waxy in texture, and the roots kind of stabilize it on this like jutting outcrop from the mountainside that's on your left. Below, you see the river go crashing down a very steep waterfall to where it finally comes to rest in this large circular flooded forest right in the heart of the mountains. You see large toadstools have begun to kind of come out of the stagnant water, almost like lily pads. But you also see other trees and fauna kind of here. There's about 20 feet of water, just like that has come to rest in this gully. Some of it, you get this like very earthy smell, a smell of decay, but also of life burgeoning out of that decay. And in now that the sun is kind of beating down on you in its last death throes before night takes hold, in that heat, almost like accosts your nostrils. It's very different, mulchy than the fresh mountain air you were in before. The tree you approach is holding on for dear life on this precipice, its roots hanging down almost like hair from its long extended branches and kind of gripping the rock below. And this is where you are able to successfully lead the party, Silas.
See, mushrooms there, right there. I found them. I knew they were there. I was kidding before.
Of course, I knew you were. Yes. Yeah.
I say, is the interest of the guild in these mushrooms of a culinary nature? I said, this does not an epic quest make.
Do I recall?
The scroll says it was more of a culinary nature than a culinary nature.
I should have looked closer. I mean, are these mushrooms bothering anybody? Like, if I look at this tree, is it being colonized by fungoid spores, or
Give me a investigation check.
absolutely? Well, I mean, that's pretty savory,
Mhm.
pretty zesty.
Yeah. As this tree is perched on this like precipice right above the mangrove forest, you notice it is free of spores and any type of fungal growth. But with that 18, you do see something strange at the base of the tree. little bits of feathers, sticks, even fabric that have fallen down here, and also bones.
Yeah, I was expecting bones down in the gully. Well, here I'm gonna go and kneel. I'm gonna go down and kneel down close.
Hmm. As you do, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Absolutely. I'm sure my good juice is gone now.
It has been some time. Oh my god. I got a nat 20, so good
Oh.
luck.
Well, I got a
I
not
got
that.
a 4.
I got a eat shit roll. So
A large bat-like creature, a fruit bat-like creature, except it's bright
Oh.
orange in color and has these crazy chameleon-esque eyes that go in circles in opposite directions, comes sweeping down from a nest that the leavings or droppings of which you were inspecting. It grabs you and starts soaring over the mangrove forest gully.
Oh, and is this some Fern Gully shit? Are you on some Fern Gully shit?
Snatching you up by your shiny armor.
Oh yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you want to put this in a nest? I look like $1 million.
Yes, you notice with a horrible, sickening realization, Vesper, that it's trying to shake you out of the armor as you go soaring across this
Yeah.
mangrove forest. You look down to the 80 feet below you.
All right, now, so I mean, do I have my equipment? Like, do I have everything that I
Roll
have?
for initiative.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking.
All right. I just realized we didn't set up initiative order for the overlay. Oh well. Are you gonna
no.
set it up in roll 20 bronze? Isn't there like a pop out you can do or something? Oh wow,
I think
let's do it
so.
for 20. Okay. I guess it doesn't matter much as long as you remember.
Where are you guys clicking
Here
initiative?
we go.
Above your hit points in the center next to AC.
You just
Okay,
click the initiative. Yeah.
You click the word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So really bad.
So yeah, you go last.
Yeah.
I
Super
think I
bad.
can just like add you here. So we'll do
Yeah, you can like manually add it if I recall correctly.
a visa. That's what, 20?
Yeah.
Did that work?
Amazing.
Wait, why did it add Horo and not a visa?
Oh, so I pulled my character sheet onto the grid and then rolled initiative, so that automatically adds it.
You're so good at roll 20, Sam.
I'm
obsessed.
a loser.
Yeah.
I'm a loser.
But it doesn't show his name, but it doesn't matter.
I'll manually add everyone else.
Yeah. We don't have an overlay for it unless Barry feels like doing something crazy, but
It's just for us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Virgo, if you were an 8?
Yep.
Wait, why did one disappear?
I don't know.
Oh, I deleted the token off the board.
Just add manually add Sam as the 17.
Yeah, I think I was
Okay.
breaking Barry's things.
You are a 17?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll go Luxie, Sam, Dan, me, Jerry, and whatever the monster rolled.
What's Vesper at? 2.
2.
Perfect.
A kingly
not
2.
Yeah, the greatest.
Oh, why does it say Horo 37?
Damn.
Damn.
Oh, thank you. The stars.
That's a get clearly. They're in
These are off.
conflux.
Okay, so that was a 17. It's like changing it to a nat 20. Okay. Does that look right in roll 20 to y'all?
Yep.
Loving it.
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Missing the monster, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Oh my god.
Some kind of fruit bat.
Yeah, I feel like a very large Robin Williams voiced bat has you in its grip. Yeah.
Well, and it seems like from the eyes, it's goated on the sauce.
It keeps changing Horo back to a 20.
What can I say?
Don't know why. To 37.
It's auspicious.
Okay, I think we've got it. I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but we're good now. Okay. So, Avisa, you see this first. There's like so you have an 80-foot drop to the base of this gully. You have 20 feet of water, and then 20 feet above that at 40 feet, you have these large like the tops of these large mushrooms, as well as these trees that kind of spread out below you.
Okay. And I'm not in the air. It's only Vesper, right?
It's only Vesper. Vesper has been like you see Vesper hanging unceremoniously without their normal regality from the strange like four-fingered feet of this like large fruit bat. Its long tongue comes out and licks at Vesper's face before retracting.
Disgusting. And if Vesper were to fall, he would hit per se a mushroom and or 20 feet of water.
Yes, depending on how lucky he got.
Great. Okay. I'm gonna cast a fire. Well, and they're 80 feet away from us.
No, they're about 30
Ugh.
feet away from you.
Okay. So
I just got picked up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Firebolt at the big bat creature.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit. You need to beat a 14.
20.
That hits. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Do I need to roll damage? How here?
So you should just be able to click.
Oh, and then
Firebolt.
just hit the Firebolt button. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Bam.
Shazam.
Your firebolt goes crackling through the air. You see some of the feathers and fur on this strange, large sunset-colored fruit bat goes like kind of flying off with like this little puff of smoke, but it still continues its trajectory.
Oh no! Sorry,
It is then
Vesper.
its turn. It is going to attempt to shake you out of your armor, Vesper.
No.
To do so, it's going to try to crack you against the trees, kind of like the way it would do with a nut.
A fruit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is awesome. Is that very I see in the
Yes.
turn order?
Very. All right. Go ahead and make me it manages to crack you against one tree. Make me a strength save.
You bet.
Oh.
Oh, that's
So-
juice.
You do take, and that'll be halved. So you take 11 points of bludgeoning damage as it smacks you against the sort of upper branches and trunk of this like large sturdy tree that has like embedded itself in the floor of the swamp. But you are able to still hold on to your armor even though it is doing everything it can to remove the delicious meat from inside this husk
yeah.
that it wants so badly.
The tender portion.
Horo, it is your turn.
At watching Vesper be cracked against a tree. Oh, that looks like it hurt. Healing word. And he will attempt to heal the snail being cracked against the tree.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll to heal, or how much you heal.
Do-do-do. 6.
Yeah. I love it.
Amazing. So you
Hang in
recover
there.
6 hit points. hang in
See,
there.
you like that? You like that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's cursed.
This
It's
service.
so cursed.
Never the beast.
And then it is Lily's turn. Because Lily goes on the same.
Horo, healing word's a bonus action spell, so you still can take an action if you want.
Oh,
My action
true.
is to yell, "Hang in there."
Does that give any,
I cup my hands.
advantage or?
Yeah, I cut my hand so it goes extra loud. Hang in there.
Oh my gosh. All right. Let's see. It is then. Oh,
Should be
wait. Let
Dan's
me do a roll to see what Lily's wisdom is. It's not good. Okay. She's gonna. You see Lily, because you're like her new wingman. You see
Oh,
Lily
yeah.
like in desperation
I backed her up.
Be like, don't worry, I got this. And she's got 60 feet. So she is going to try to polymorph the giant bat. Kind of hoping that you land somewhere well.
Well, hopefully she can
Damn.
polymorph it into like a king-size mattress.
Right. Let's
That's
see.
real comfort.
Unless it lands on top of you, in which case.
Yeah.
Trying to read the thing of this class. So make a wisdom saving throw to avoid the effect.
Can you click the spell? Or is it not a character sheet?
It's not in the character sheet.
Gotcha. I'll see if I can do it.
Yeah. It's got a range of 60 feet. It takes 1 action, and if the creature fails its wisdom saving throw, it assumes the hit points and form of its new form.
There you go.
Oh ho.
It fails.
Oh boy.
So
What did her creativity manifest here?
she polymorphs this large, like multicolored fruit bat into a small baby bear.
A cub.
And a pink baby bear. And as its flesh kind of begins to undulate almost unsettlingly, the fur with like some almost like its insides are turning into gelatin, it slowly melds and reduces in size until it becomes a baby bear, like dropping both of you 80 feet.
Yeah.
Give me a dexterity saving throw
Absolutely.
to see if you can grab onto something on your way down.
Yeah, that's the hope, right? Nope.
Can
roll 8d6 for me.
Can me or Dan try to do something, or is?
Yes, you could. I'll allow you to use your reaction to do something here if there's something you can do on a reaction.
Can I? Is he He got slammed next to a mountain. Is he dropping next to a mountain?
He's dropping next to a tree.
Can I throw a javelin into the trajectory where he's falling so that he can grab it on his way down?
Roll to hit.
Now, if I miss,
really
Jerry, I'm sorry, because this javelin.
Well, you're gonna kill a baby bear.
We'll do a difficulty rating of 14.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna roll to hit. Fucking 12.
Here. And so I am. When we're coming down, I am gonna grab hold of this bear.
Are you gonna use the bear's cushion?
No. I am going to be the cushion for the bear.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. That's so cute.
27.
Oh.
Are you?
Tunk, poof, crack.
Exactly. I'm just like, Saint Beauregard was a friend to the beasts.
You see Vesper hit every branch of the tree as they finally land with a loud whoosh in the water, in the standing water, clutching this little pink bear close to their chest, protecting it from all of the damage. And you exit initiative for now. You have 10 minutes before the thing goes back to being fruit bat sized.
Yeah, I'm running towards Vesper. Is he alive?
Yeah. Yeah.
I honestly didn't expect the polymorph to work. I feel like I solved this for you guys.
Yeah.
Just fighting yourself.
Having a level 7 wizard in the party is actually really good. I wasn't sure y'all would take Lily with you.
It's a good rank. Well, no, it's the voice, dude. The voice is too funny.
Yeah.
No, I am at 19 HP.
Okay.
And so, basically, I am, and I'm just trying to. I mean, at this point, I have saved the creature, even the other creature, obviously in its guise. Again, I don't blame a creature for trying to incorporate this holy raiment into its nest. I suspect that would be quite effective, as a lure, as a romantic lure.
Are you talking to yourself when I run up on you?
Exactly. I don't hate on it at all.
Vesper, who are you talking to?
I'm pulling myself up, I assume, on the beach, and it's just saying, yeah, that's it. That's going in the annals. That's main stage. That's not going to be in the index. That's the that's a good story. And then I just lay over on my back for a while.
As you lay on your back, Lily casts Water Walk on all of you to ease your passing through this swamp, through this flooded forest.
Is she?
I waited to cast it because I thought it might be awkward if you fell from all that and then didn't have the water to catch you.
Oh, can you imagine?
You know who can't do that, Vesper? Solara. She doesn't know water. She doesn't know Water Walk.
I wave weakly.
Where's the bear at?
Yeah, Vesper, where's the bear?
Well, they know how to swim. I mean, they know how to swim. I assume they're going to be with me here for a little bit. We'll see how it goes. Probably just going to try to eat me while I'm laying on my back.
Is the bear acting aggressive? Like what? How?
Yeah, no, the baby bear is honestly just heartbreakingly cute for the next 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay.
Vesper, do you have that leftover rope that you tied me up with? I know you just fell like 80 feet, but
yeah. So I roll over and just gesture behind in my pack.
Okay.
In the general area.
Virgo, that seems like a sensitive area. Do you want to go ahead and touch his pack?
What?
His rope's in his pack. I just thought maybe mano to mano. I don't know if I want to touch Vesper's pack. Seems personal.
It's an HR issue. You're gonna want to just handle it.
Is this going to become a story where me and Vesper had sexual relations?
I won't
later,
I won't tell anybody you had sex with Vesper after he fell 80 feet and there was
I
babies
didn't
in there.
have sex with. I'm reaching.
I won't
for
tell
a rope.
anybody that. Yeah, go ahead. You grab that rope.
Hoyle, you should grab the rope.
I'm not grabbing the rope.
Silas.
Sorry, I don't grab men's ropes anymore.
I sit up. My organs shift around my broken bones. I get the rope out and tie a loose lead around the bear and give it a few scratches underneath the chin. I say, for 8 minutes, you and I are allies.
Give me an animal handling check with advantage since you saved its life.
Yeah. How about a 0? And a 7.
A 7, yeah.
As you scratch under its chin, you notice like it's not fond of the lead, and therefore you don't gain its unwavering loyalty benefit at this time.
Makes sense.
If there were a way to befriend it, perhaps like this could be the case, but for now, it begrudges this leash you've placed around it, even though you're attempting friendliness. It's not outwardly harmful to you. It's not going to try to attempt to attack you for the next 8 minutes, but it's not your friend either.
Yeah, I say, you know what? Maybe you're not a leash bear, and I'll just pull it off. I mean, here I say, listen, just
no, Vesper, don't do that, and also maybe tie it somewhere else because if it's tied to you, you're just gonna go flying up in the air again, and we can't handle that. You can't take another fall.
Somebody else tie it. I need to fix his garish wound.
I can't tie it. I got sweaty hands.
Haru kneel down.
Sweaty hands.
Well, throw it on the ground. I'll pick the rope up off the ground.
I'm gonna cure wounds at 2nd level.
Ooh.
On his break.
Dang.
You hear the bones begin to like crack and form back together. They sound almost like branches moving in the wind, since it's that good druid magic. And the cycle of life and death is like almost speeded for just a moment as Hora is able to manipulate the weave and accelerate the healing process. It's not pleasant. Definitely not as pleasant as paladin magic or cleric magic, but it works and you heal.
I listen, I'm not going to look a gift druid in the mouth, you know.
That's the saying. That's what they say. Yeah.
Why would you want to see my mouth?
Yeah, exactly. That's why you don't do it.
Why would anybody want that? Why are we even talking about that?
My mouth?
Really, you don't want to see Horo's mouth?
What's wrong with his mouth?
No! Who even draws fan art of that? Avisa, you're so weird. Oh my god. Okay.
I can't draw.
I don't want to see. Who would want to see the inside of his mouth or think about what it feels like? I've never thought of that. Virgo fucks birds.
Yeah, I mean, that's the takeaway. I think that's the takeaway.
That's the real
I think it goes over to me. I'm tying the rope I fuck birds, blah, 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 blah. Just whatever it was. Yeah, I tie the bear to the polymorphed bear to some tree. Poor
Yeah,
thing's
you
gonna
just
be
stay
stuck to
there
the tree. Yeah,
for a little while.
yeah.
For
All
now,
right, so
yeah.
so down here, farther in to the to this wilderness, is there a more substantial presence
Yes.
of these? Okay, I was just gonna say, like, we must be. They must have been worried about something.
Yeah. You see here that the mushrooms, and actually Silas would probably know this since Silas is an old timer. This mangrove forest didn't used to look quite like this. The spores here have kind of taken root in the water, and it's like caused a blockage at the end of the valley, which is why the water here is a little bit higher than normal. Normally it's a bit more of a wetland. Right now it's kind of like flooded, as it were. Um,
Marsh.
yeah, yeah. There's a large, like, sort of blockage of these large mushroom-like
Ah,
structures near one end, and you're not used to this smell here either. You notice that there's not as many of the normal animals you see in this region. The cranes that are signature to this area are gone, and instead a lot of the fauna has been replaced by, like, buzzing swarms of insects and mosquitoes.
hmm.
It it definitely looks very different here than it's supposed to look. It's all flooded. If these things keep growing, there won't be mushroom here.
I see what you did there.
Silas?
That's good. It's good.
Vesper does not get it. Um, like furiously doesn't get it. I am gonna trip my divine sense though, and see if we're talking about a purely natural phenomenon or if there is something else at work.
Yeah. Can you click on the description for Divine Sense for me?
Absolutely, nothing would bring me more pleasure.
Amazing. The presence of strong evil registers on your senses like noxious odor. Yes, you definitely smell something funky here.
Okay, well then
Something is bad.
yeah, and not just like damp, not like mildew. I mean, obviously we detest mildew, but something legitimately malevolent is here. Well, I'm gonna then if that's the case, then I want to be in a status that's prepared, and I'm going to communicate the information to my allies by getting my shield out and by unfolding my gun lance off of my back. Um, and I'm gonna indicate to them, and I'll say, friends, allies, sidekicks, all. Uh, there is an evil in this place that exists beyond the natural. It might even be called unnatural.
Is he always this dramatic?
Yes. You never know
I
when
sense
something is
something
going to be
too.
written down, Virgo.
Well, what?
Luna trines Solasta in Myrmidon. It's a bad omen.
Mhm.
Star things.
I'll
Well, that's my cue to hide. So I'm gonna get into some bushes over here and I'm gonna look around a little bit.
Yeah, give me a nature check.
23.
Damn.
You do, like, sort of while you're on the sort of banks of this slightly higher muddy region before it, like, slips down into the murky depths, you do notice the foliage here has been trampled down. Um, Something has passed through here fairly recently. You notice that the trees and the bushes here are a little bit sicker as well. In fact, as you try to go hide in the bushes, a strange
Oh.
film covers like your hands and your arms, almost like dust or pollen, kind of
Mhm.
triggering your allergies. And you notice there's like a thin golden colored like film, spongy film that is deposited on all the branches here. The trees here are very sick, more so than when you first entered this like mangrove forest.
I would like to see if I can tell where the tracks are leading, like where they are going.
Yeah, with the 23, you're able to figure it out. Even without like you don't see tracks as you normally would, but you are able to tell where the foliage is more sick, where there's like a thicker like deposition of this strange film and where strange sickly yellow lichen has begun to hang from the branches of the trees here, forming these strange almost like membranes that connect the trees together. You're able to use this to kind of figure out the heart of this corruption in a cave nearby.
I signal to the other party members, like silently pointing towards the cave and indicating to move forward and follow me.
Okay. I draw my shield. Everything seems to have gotten really serious really quickly.
Yeah.
So I'll draw my shield and draw my long sword and start to walk towards this cave that he has motioned towards.
Yeah, and I'm following like basically to the side, like not even behind. I'm following like to the side of Silas so that if something happens, I'm actually ready to step in.
As you enter this cave, you notice that the water here kind of rises and lowers throughout the day. Right now it's dry, but it still deposits this gross, almost pond scum like material all around you. It's very difficult for you to breathe in here. Everyone give me constitution saves.
Oh, God.
Juice.
Oh, it didn't show my roll. I crit. I think it had too many rolls.
Yeah, you feel sicker as like the spores kind of fill your lungs, Avisa. Um, this will happen to Avisa and Horo. You feel like this strange kind of sickness or allergy take hold as like the pond scum dries and like hits the air and you inhale it and you gain disadvantage on perception checks.
Or is this compounded by the
Disappointing.
fact he can no longer see the stars?
Yeah.
Oh no. You wonder to yourselves that if the longer you stay in here, the more difficult operating will become as your immune systems are kind of adjusting to this disgusting pond scum-esque like lung.
Put lung pudding.
Lung pudding.
No, so would I indicate this as a paladin? Would I perceive this as a disease?
Yeah, the beginning stages of a disease, yes.
I feel strongly compelled to stop it now. Then,
Give me a medicine check.
well, I'm thinking I could use my lay on hands.
Ah, I was gonna
Um,
say, I was like, you definitely can. But
yeah,
it's gonna be one of those things that you almost wonder if you should save it until it gets worse to clear it because you do have, I think, a limited amount of times you can do
I
it.
do have a limit, and I appreciate that.
I'm
IRL
being nice.
Jasmine, I appreciate what you have said, and I'm ready to return now. But a 10 medicine roll from my medical pack. If anything I can do to ease the
Yeah.
to ease it for the two people who are suffering from
You think that, you can definitely like give them something to put across their face like a mask or something to help filter out some of these pores so that they might get a +2 bonus to next time they roll.
it. Oh, we like it. We like it.
It hasn't like this fever hasn't really begun to take root yet. You do wonder
Right.
if it'll get worse as you begin or as you continue your sort of exploration of this cave. As you enter,
Is it
Mhm,
dark in here? Does anyone
mhm.
have a torch? Okay, I'll cast I guess I'll cast light on my shield.
Amazing.
We love it.
I'll
As
produce flame as well.
as the soft, sort of quavering light crashes against the cave walls, you do notice they have a strange texture, almost like abalone shell, going all the way up. It's weird. It doesn't seem normal here. It's almost as though flames or something have scorched and created this strange, unique pattern on the stone that's been that's kind of taken on this appearance after being heated and cooled multiple times. As this like light kind of fills the cavern, you hear something. You hear
So that's the end point of this disease, apparently.
Visa, stop making such a show of things. I can hear you from here.
Hey, that wasn't me. I'm really sorry about that.
Oh, it wasn't?
No. I do get asthma sometimes, but that wasn't me.
My apologies.
Yeah, I'm gonna step.
What was it?
More directly. Sorry. I'm gonna step more directly into the front
hmm
at this point. Now that we're in and the cave goes this way, I'm just gonna take up that position.
Yeah,
I would like to go into stealth and try to
perfect.
move stealthily behind him.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check. Vesper, give me a perception check since you're at the front.
Absolutely. 10. How's that? Yeah,
Amazing.
that's the good stuff. I'm saving my great rolls here for the end.
That's when we need them.
Yeah, right.
With a 10, you don't see it right away, but you feel a warning shot right over your head.
Do I see what the warning shot is?
Yeah,
Thing
Virgo.
behind them?
You recognize it as a guild crossbow bolt.
Oh no.
It's painted with the guild colors.
Do I have enough time to make a insight check to see if I recognize or know who would have a cross bolt with guild cross bolts?
Yeah,
Or
go ahead and
crossbow
roll.
with okay.
Or you could do an intelligence check to see like what you
Uh,
remember.
Insight's better in general,
Okay.
but it was a 10, not great.
Yeah, you're not sure. You don't remember if another group of hunters have been sent here. With the 10, you would remember that this is standard guild protocol if approached by a strange group of people to fire a warning shot before a fatal shot.
Is there a common phrase amongst higher ranks in the guild that one could say so that everyone
Ooh.
would know what the fuck is going on in an instant? Is that something that I could utter?
Yeah. Yeah, you know there's a phrase common amongst like some of the officers, which is what is the sound of slaying?
Okay.
Oh, it's probably a code phrase with a response.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I actually shout it, and it kind of catches all of you by surprise. I just say, "What is the sound of slaying?" I kind of just wait.
And you hear a voice kind of coughing in between. It says, glory.
Sounds hurt. I'll drop. I kind of hastily make towards whatever this noise is. It sounds like this is a hurt creature, hurt person.
Yeah. You find him like holding a side crumpled against one of the cave walls, a dwarf, his long silver beard braided in 2 or 3 French braids kind of coming down, the bottom of each tied off with like a lion's head adornment. His helmet also it like looks like the maw of a lion, and his own hair is kind of pulled up through a hole to create the lion's mane.
Man.
You recognize him as Vontac. He looks grievously injured. He is a higher rank hunter.
All right, brain spell. I'll immediately rush to him and like one arm on his left shoulder, and the other kind of is he slashed in his gut? Is that what you said? Or he just hurt? You don't really know where he's hurt.
When you look, you do see like a strange, like almost bony spine is jutting out of his side. It's
Jeez.
embedded somewhere deep in, and you notice like there's strange, almost vein-like patterns on his skin extending from this spine.
Okay. I put one arm on his left and almost kind of like shoving the bone back inside of him at the same time. I'm going to use lay on hands.
Oof.
How does that?
Military.
Do I just say how much I heal him for?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'll give him 10, 8, enough. Whatever you think is enough to like fix this broken bone issue, rib. Whatever.
Yeah. You hear his organs shift as his ribs come back into place, and the spine comes loose in your hand. As it does, it kind of shatters into these thin splinters, kind of like almost disintegrating, and these strange spores cover
Ugh.
your gloved hand, I'm assuming, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't take my gloves
Yeah.
off. Does
As
he
they do,
die?
you see almost like thin little
Ugh.
what are those things called? Dandelion-esque like but their legs are kind of moving, kind of break off into the air in that same golden color, and you do notice he is breathing easier now.
Oh,
Oh, thank you, friend.
so something's not right though, right?
You'll have to forgive me for my accent, Sam.
It's okay.
Yeah. The thing that strikes you about not being right is that he is carrying 3 ribbons with him, each carried by a different hunter. You know that. Hunters of higher rank typically have like a wax sigil on a ribbon that they put on their armor. He is holding 3 of them in one hand.
Okay. Is he generally lower or higher in rank than me? You might have already said this.
From your former rank, he's lower. With your current rank, he's higher.
He doesn't know that though, so I'm gonna act as if I'm still a higher rank. And
Fair.
in Dwarvish, I'm just gonna say, "What's the situation? Report," and step back, kind of
Mhm.
still confused over what just happened with the spine.
Yeah, give me a deception check.
Oh, great. Well, 20. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, he buys it. He hasn't heard the bird story. And he
Yeah,
says,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He just
your
hasn't heard
brand
it.
Well,
your brand
there's-
hasn't been destroyed.
There's multiple
Yeah.
stories out there. Not everyone knows the bird story, perhaps.
Yeah, he hasn't heard of your disgrace. And he says, we thought it was a standard mission, destroy some strange myconid creatures, but it turns out it's not quite as simple as all that. We delved into the cave. There's some strange mushroom-esque sentience underground. It's trying to reanimate or taken hold of remains, some old dragon remains.
Mm-hmm.
The entire group was wiped out in just a matter of minutes. It's the and when he coughs, like the strange yellow substance, kind of like phlegm, comes out of his mouth into his handkerchief. And he says, "We couldn't breathe in there."
I'll take a step
Yeah.
back from the coughing. Can you find your way out of here? Are you able to stand?
I think now I could. You don't intend to go in there, do you?
I think we have to. You need to go back to the camp and report, though, if you think you can make it.
Those poor souls. Bring back their remains if you can, and I'll reward you handsomely.
I'll do it regardless of the reward, of course.
Brothers of mine they were, and sisters in arms. I would hate to see anything happen to you. And at this, he looks around at the rest of the party, and you notice, like, his eye kind of like lingers over your armor.
New recruits, you know how it is.
Are you sure it's wise to take them in there, Vergrove? I mean, I wouldn't want to question your judgment as a superior officer, but
They have to learn sometime. It's fine. Make it back to the camp. Please report. We'll be back before the day's end?
I'll send a team to help you extract in case things go south.
Very well.
And you see him like kind of limp. His flesh still bruised where the armor, the plate mail was like cracked. And you can see like his side, his obliques are all bruised, a dark purple color as he like begins limping out, carrying a very large glaive behind him, like kind of dragging it on the floor.
Sure. How much lay on hands did I use, by the way, to get him to
You said
whatever?
10.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
I wasn't sure. Well, I turn. Well, I suppose we found what we're looking for.
Are you sure? Perhaps we should head back.
To camp? To the city?
Yes.
For what purpose?
Well, it's clearly not just simply mushrooms. I'm only a rank 3.
I'm distraught at what I'm hearing so much that I'm shooken to my core. I can't speak at the moment by what a disgraceful statement Horo has put out there.
Oh no.
Virgo, if I distinctly heard the word dragon.
As did I.
And I am exhilarated to my core.
Wait, what?
Yes. Yes. We're talking about a dragon that died once already. I mean, how powerful could it be?
Vesper, you were made for this job. I don't say that lightly. Horo, however, wanting to run. Avisa, Silas, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm feeling like really comfortable and totally fine. Not sweaty and very sure of us.
Silas?
Well, I think we only got one shot at this, so we might as well just take the risk. What do we got to lose?
Everything.
Don't
Literally.
think too hard on that part.
Lily?
She like looks between Horo and the others and then says, I have an obligation to be here as a higher rank hunter. We have to go in and get the other hunter remains.
Lily's correct.
But that being said, Horo, if something were to happen to you, I would never forgive myself.
You kneel down. Don't worry about me. Just stay behind me.
What? You see her like the color rise into her cheeks as she like stands behind Horo and comes up to like butt level because she's a goblin. Oh god. Well, I mean, I suppose I could.
I in the middle of those, I give her just a good firm slap on the back just to kind of skip the needle a little bit. Like, let's just get to the end of this. We got a good thing going here. I'm just gonna push you over to the next spot.
Right. Okay. What do we know about myconid creatures? Sound off, recruits.
What do I know? I'm gonna roll. Can I roll?
Give me a nature check.
Nothing.
Horo, you are not even sure how to spell myconid.
Micah, what?
Next, Avisa, what do you know about?
All of it. You
So,
majored in fucking mushrooms.
I actually brought a book about mushrooms because you said we were going to see some, so I have it with me.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
You know
what
that
says?
there are 4 stages of fungal infection. The first results in a general wateriness of eyes and nasal passageways, like an irritation of your mucosal membranes.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the perception disadvantage. You
Right.
know that if this takes root and gets a little bit stronger, that you will start to cough up a horrible yellow phlegmy substance and begin to take damage to your internal organs as cellular death occurs. At stage 3, you know that the sort of fungal protrusions will begin to break your skin and cause hallucinogenic actions or sort of reactions in your brain chemistry. And stage 5 is death.
I hear you. Do I know how to prevent those things from happening?
Fresh air and clean water and removal from the spore filled environment. You also know that fire does a very good job of killing airborne spores.
I got some stuff. It's not looking good, friends. It's I don't know if you heard my internal monologue just then, but basically we're pretty screwed.
Well, we can make fire, can we not?
Yeah, we can make fire, but like, what if it's flammable and then the air is fire and then our hair is gone and then we're on fire?
I don't think that's how that works.
Dark tidings, to be sure.
Yeah, I'll.
Everyone, hold out your hands.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
I was gonna.
Oh my
will
god, this is so
use-
sudden.
I don't think he's proposing, Lily. I'm sorry.
Oh,
He'll use the produce flame cantrip, so everybody has their independent magical flame.
Ooh, this will definitely grant you advantage on Constitution saves as it helps purify some of the air around you.
Yeah, that's like a biblical vibe.
They only last for 10
That's a
minutes.
killer image. Okay, but listen, I mean, I think that my feeling, obviously, there's no question that we can manage any rough beast that should cross our paths. But in terms of an action agenda, retrieving the bodies of fallen heroes is more than enough a task for us this day.
And if you need a financial motivation, she said dead dragon. Dragons have hordes, so just saying, there may be something pretty there that we might be able to recover if you need a little nudge.
Well, you'd be the one to sneak in there and take it, would you not?
I would never. I would, of course, share with everybody.
Oh, I never said that you wouldn't. You jumped to that conclusion yourself. I'm just saying,
Oh,
as
wait.
the person,
As
who
the
would-
old eldest, I would, of course, get the biggest share,
Well, wait, I don't think that's what they were saying.
I am saying because you are the creature that you are, you will be able to sneak in there and find.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Yes, I'm like a creature of the night.
Hey, Silas, does your other eye like work when you're not wearing it?
No, it only works when it's in my head.
We can't like
I
roll
can
it
only-
in like a bowling ball and like check out what's going on in there.
No, it has to be touching me.
Dang it.
That would be fun, though.
Could be fun, yeah. Lawn bowling.
Bronze, do we know the cave splinters off, right? And that's where he said this other. Okay. Does anyone need to take a break before we move forward?
I think that topping up my HP with a spell is probably a good idea before we go in there. I expect to take a lot of damage.
We could also short rest if we'd rather just use a short rest to do that. But we might
We're
have to
still
make
resting.
if we do a short rest, we might take another con check for
I don't know if we
taking-
want to short rest in this environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a restful. This is not a spa. You know.
Yes,
It
correct.
was
Not
like a spot of me.
Okay,
Are you topped off at this point?
I'm gonna cast that. I would say that it's not incredible.
Okay.
But we'll have the ability to do some more, and I can lay on hands as well.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, so can I. I think between me, you, and
There you
Horo,
go.
we should have enough.
Or
Oh,
we'll
there's
give you
another.
another round of cure wounds.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry,
so much.
are you taking a short rest here?
No,
I'm just casting.
Mhm.
we're just gonna cast a couple spells, and now I'm feeling good. I'm feeling frisky. We're ready to.
Oh,
I'm ready to go to work.
One must always need to feel frisky.
Lily
while
does tell
stealing
all of
from a
you.
dragon.
She says, you know, I wouldn't mind a short rest because my spell slots are a little tingly with after that polymorph. But I mean, I can make do.
I'm just
We
like
don't
scared
wanna
if we
spend
nap here, we're gonna like
Yes.
die. I read about the
that's
mushroom.
true. Okay, never mind. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just don't want you to die. You have so much to live for. Think about what could happen with,
Well,
you know,
What?
there's a lot of potential.
there's a lot of life to live.
Well, our individual shares would go up but yeah, we want to keep her alive. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The possibilities are truly endless. Let us be off. Who's going to take the forefront?
I would
Yeah,
rather
I got
not. I'll take the middle.
I think me and Vesper are at the front, right? Side
Yeah.
by side. Yeah.
It's the right choice.
Are you, do you just have a lance or are you shielded up?
I have a shield and a lance.
Okay. All right. So then I think the
I-
two
I-
of us are at the
I
front.
understood the Monster Hunter assignment.
Yeah. We're both shielded up at the front of this thing, trekking down the other corridor that the dwarf told us to go. Von Talk.
Right. And you head towards the heart of the caves. As you enter, you notice that there's a strange, almost lattice work, honeycomb-esque substance that has like grown and created a veritable maze around you, labyrinthine in nature. Every few moments, they almost sigh.
Ugh.
Like they're on the inside of a lung, the inside of some type of alveoli, and these spores fill the air. Give me a group survival check to see how quickly you're able to navigate through these. We'll take the second highest score as your group score.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
21.
Well,
12.
Dan did it.
Wait, do we have
Yeah.
advantage because of the flames?
That'll be on your constitution check.
Can we?
It takes
It's
you
just a maze.
time to navigate through here. Silas points things out to you to help you kind of like move through, but it still takes you some time to get to the sort of heart of the caverns. These spongy sort of walls are new, and it's hard to make out paths that taken by like the last group before you. But as you kind of get your bearings and figure things out, we'll do a group constitution check, but Silas notices a discarded like couple of arrows by the side and is able to determine where the party before you pass through.
Okay. We're all doing con checks, you said?
These will be with advantage because of those flames that each of you has to kind of burn some of those spores off in your vicinity.
Okay.
And then I think Avisa and Horo get +2 from the face masks you're wearing.
I think I did
let me
okay
see
with
here.
15, but ugh.
Yeah, so with advantage, Avisa has a 21, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, because it's rolled twice there.
Yeah, it
Murdered
won't
it.
show on the big on the what viewers see, but it rolled a second time in roll 20.
Oh, okay. You rolled twice. So with the 16, you pass.
Yeah, I rolled twice because it was singular.
Yeah. Vesper, that's a pass.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out. Silas, that's a pass. Yeah, the advantage helped to all of you. Avisa,
Yeah.
that's a pass.
Do I need to roll
And
a
then
Strippin rolled a 24.
I rolled a 15.
Oh, that's survival. He rolled he rolled a
I
15.
rolled a 15
Yeah.
con save.
I rolled okay, the one actually really helped you there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that face mask is all you need. You're able to like kind of resist the spore lung a little bit longer. Silas, you see these few discarded arrows almost as though they fell out of a quiver while someone was running through here. You see some boot mark scuffs also amongst like the spongy walls, this like strange latticework honeycomb like structure around you.
Well, looks like they were probably startled here and the arrows fell out. So we must be getting close to wherever they ended up. So be prepared.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Would anybody like to go ahead and scout or anything, or would you like to proceed as normal?
I will go into stealth and scout out a little bit ahead of everyone.
Okay.
I love this.
Go ahead and give me another stealth roll.
Oh,
25.
dude, your rolls today.
Yeah.
Welcome to
Yeah.
Playing
Guys
with
on
Dan.
fire.
This is how it
So
always
good.
is.
So
Old
good.
Silas, dude.
So
Wait, does
good.
Dan do this often?
Dan,
got
this
the
is
pre-
Dan's MO.
Sometimes my
Do you have
dice
the
are
Do you have the
blessed.
premium account on
Yeah.
on Roll20?
Yeah, I paid for the
Silas.
premium membership.
You move like a shadow. And as you do, you see a strange rumbling mound ahead of you. It doesn't mark your presence yet. There is an overgrowth, almost like when you step out here, your footsteps become completely muffled. They were quiet before with that 25 stealth, but here you cannot even hear them as you step on this soft, velvety bed. And as you do, you notice like it's almost so gross. It's almost like the texture of a tongue. This mound like moves and undulates and rumbles underneath. And sure enough, you see shoulder blades, you see folded wings, and you see the decaying remains of what looks to be an ancient dragon. The light from its eyes is gone, and instead you just see like one half decayed eyeball kind of rolling around in the socket. And out of the other eye, you just see an explosion of tendrils and the heads of like multiple clusters of mushrooms. Along the head, where normally there would be scales and fins, you just see this cordyceps-esque, like kind of like growth kind of coming down the neck and spines. And you see that instead of like the bones being connected with tendon and sinew, instead they're connected with these long, stringy, gooey, almost snot-like membranes that have like knitted this horrible creature back together. It sighs and lets out a weird, like foamy substance from its mouth where dragon breath would have gently issued forth. It is sleeping.
We like this.
I would like to look around the room, see if there's any other creatures in this room with it, like on the roof or on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Give me a perception check.
Okay, 10.
Uh-oh.
You don't see any other creatures, but you do see a shiny helmet not far from where you are, about 60 feet off to your right.
Okay.
Remains.
Yep. I would also like to look at the thing I'm standing on and see if I know what it could be, like if it's something I've seen in nature before.
Yeah, give me a nature check.
23.
23. Let's see. You do think you have an idea. It's almost like a truffle-esque, like, you know how like you have to like subterranean mushrooms? You think like with with the 23, you think whatever has reanimated this thing is below your feet.
It's a mycelial thing.
Yeah.
And this takes up almost the entirety of the cave.
It's huge. There's like this thick growth that almost feels like a velvet carpet underneath. And as it like gently undulates, you do get the sense that there is some kind of colony below. And this large reanimated dragon is kind of like the guardian.
It's the fruit of it in a way, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
Ugh.
like the
Ugh.
upward growing spores.
The fruiting body.
All right. I think I will slink back to the party and relay all the information to them, and so we can come up with a plan of how we want to proceed.
This is pure horror. That's way worse. It's like the studied practiced optimism has found its match in a cavern filling undead cordyceps dragon that isn't even the real enemy.
Yes, Silas has gotten you some invaluable information.
Yeah, what do
You have to admit the mushrooms themselves are pretty interesting.
Avisa, do you have fire magic?
Yeah.
Well, do you have any like big boom stuff?
Like describe like a big boom. Like earlier when I hit that bat, that's like probably like the biggest boom I have.
Like what you did earlier was a little boom. Is there anything that's much bigger than that? Like lots of fire everywhere.
I have a torch.
Okay.
Avisa, because you so carefully said this at the beginning that you're not sure if these papers that you're grabbing from the table are yours or not, give me a luck roll. Just roll a naked d20 for me.
Okay.
A 14. As you are like, I have a torch, and you're like looking through your pack at what you could possibly have, your hand does fall on some of the papers you grabbed from the table that Faison was like
Ooh.
looking through when he asked you for help.
What did Faison have maybe on the table that I took? I bet it's really hot, whatever it is.
You see one like scroll with that 14 that you can use one time of burning hands, as well as a scroll of mending, but you still think that has something to do with daylight. You still can't figure out what that one is.
It's like really weird you asked that because I like took all these papers because I got like really nervous when Faison was talking to me back at the guild. And this one is called Burning Hands. I don't think that's anything like the popular event people attend, so I could probably try that.
Well, I think this thing is very weak to fire. So if we have her on our side, we do have an ace up our sleeve. I think if we strike at once, quick, I think we could take this.
Do you want me to put my
Should
burning
we
hands on the
fight it
dragon?
outside or?
We go in, distract the thing, and then she gets close enough to fire it up.
Sure.
Fire it up.
I feel like that's one spell. I don't.
I got
I mean-
two. I have two. I have two. One's just smaller than the other one.
I can produce flame. I could throw it or something.
I mean, I would appreciate that. I feel like that's not enough fire.
Well, you would stick it with the pointy end, obviously, right?
A couple times, sure, just as a kind of aperitif for this subterranean
Now we
demon.
have a plan. By the stars.
Bronze, can I look around the room to see if anything could be flammable in here besides like the mushroom and because I have lightning magic. So if there's like wood.
Yeah. Give me
Juice.
an intelligence check.
Just feels very daunting to ask.
I always feel so called out.
Yeah. How smart are
16.
you?
Yeah, you do
16's good.
have lantern oil in your explorer's pack.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. Good to know.
So I think the key is there a situation where we can get our fallen allies, secure their raiment or their sashes just as our fellow did, and we can create enough havoc to
Wait,
allow
do you
that
have
to
an
happen,
explorer's pack?
and then we get the F out.
I have an explorer's pack, but it doesn't have lamp oil in it.
I
have brewer's supplies? Bronze?
Oh, yes, you're a brewer. No, we could say you have vodka in there. That works.
Nice.
Some clear alcohol.
Yeah, some
Yeah,
clear
Everclear.
Did Silas mention to us when you came back? Did you see the remains of the aforementioned party?
I mentioned that there is something, a shiny piece of armor, but I couldn't tell if there was anything with it.
Okay.
Well then,
So do
What's
you
the
want me to
plan?
like hang back here and like wait it out because I got like some boost and some fire on me, or like what's
What I was thinking is the thing we'll be standing on is controlling the dragon most likely, 'cause it's all one connected thing. So if you were to, lay down oil and light it on fire, it might hurt it enough to distract it long enough for us to get the goods and get out.
so I should just you want me to get to work on that?
Yeah, I mean, here's what I like. Let me tell you. I mean, this is not how Saint Beauregard would have done it. I'll be honest. But I think that he would have appreciated our pluck. We head in. We throw the alcohol in at the ground. I hurl my censer, my burning ritual censer, in after. The burning incense and redolent scent, so pleasing to the Lord, will spread across, lighting it aflame. Then you can save your burning hands for the onrushing torrent of wicked mushroom creatures that are sure to be generated by it. I will plant my sacred gun lance into the ground at the base of the creature's foot, utilizing my piercing smite, which creates a dangerous realm for these roots. While this is happening, our incredibly clever Silas will try to seize as many holy relics as they can. That's the win condition for us. Defeating the giant dragon? I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. Not trying to be a downer.
Vesper, I would say saving the environment with this overgrown mushroom would be what Beauregard, who so obviously cared for the animals, would have wanted.
Yes, he was a lover of plants and beasts. The natural world
and
was his home.
stars.
It wasn't his favorite, but I mean, he could be convinced.
The stars.
So
are
I'm just gonna
convincing.
uncork this vodka and just like roll it on in.
I love it.
Did I just?
I'm gonna prepare my ritual sensor.
Virgo,
And
do you
that'll
have
be phase
any
2.
input as the
Yeah.
experienced one?
No,
Or-
I was just standing
You're just
back
taking
watching
notes?
all this, seeing what you guys come up with.
I'd rather not
Like
die.
a teacher leading a class, just like watching the kids like light ants on fire.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I chime in when he said, I was simply watching. I think Vesper has a sound plan, some sort of distraction. Silas and perhaps you, Horo, sneak in, grab the remains, and if we don't kill the dragon, there are more on the way that can help with that. But the remains first seem like a good enough goal. We can run after that. Or at least flee the cave until more arrive. I can do the best to draw all the attack of whatever it is that appears, but I will only be able to take a handful of hits. It should be enough for Avisa and Silas to do their job and for Vesper to help me. Horo, what's your role in all of this?
Well, mostly I heal. So I find use everywhere. By the
And
stars.
what a soothing balm you are.
Thank you, Lily.
See, normally I can cast a wall of fire, which might have been helpful here, but I used polymorph instead, which in hindsight, maybe I should have just let Vesper be carried off by some strange batwing creature.
Hey, we made a new friend. You know what I mean? Well, temporarily.
True. Yeah.
I hope that bear's okay.
It's a bear, and only for a short time.
Yeah, then it turns back into
It was just so
Batty
cute.
from Ferngully.
It's a temporary bear.
It's true. Lily, what can you assist in?
Yeah, what do you want me to hit?
We'll need some way to escape easily. Can you aid with that at all?
Yeah. I mean, I can Misty Step. Wait, but you want me to help you?
This is helping the group, not just you, Lily. I've heard of that one
Well,
before.
when we go in, I can mirror image and bamboozle them with
Ooh.
having a bunch of me.
That could serve as a distraction. It could work. At least
Yes.
on the way
People really
out.
like it. It's it's a very spicy trick I have.
Lily,
It's like twins, Horo. Really?
I would say use that
Ugh.
as an escape plan. I'll draw
Like
the
there's
attack.
like 4 of me. You know? Ugh.
Oh, I
just
see
saying.
what's happening here. This is a weird.
It's very clever.
Is this your first time seeing it, Virgo?
No,
I didn't
even have, like, a
see,
sex
I'm saying
education
with
class.
this statement and this spell she wishes to cast.
You know, it's without any of the weirdness. You know, because
it's
it's
weird.
just me.
It's already weird.
Huh?
It's still it's weird.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna
Lily's
take a
simply
swig of
explaining
this
her
vodka
talents. It's
before I
not
throw
weird.
it.
It's useful.
See,
Look.
he thinks it's useful.
Just save the images until we are ready to flee so that it will draw the attack and all of us can leave.
Wait, which images are you referencing? I don't think I can save those other images. They've
The
already
mirror
burned themselves
images,
inside.
Lily,
The
that you will
mirror,
create.
the mirror images, right?
Not
of
of whatever
course.
you and Horo are doing
What?
mentally in
No,
your head.
I would never. Excuse me, I'm a virgin. Huh?
Is
Let's
everyone
go in.
understanding
Aren't
of
you
their...
the superior officer
I
here? You
haven't
should. What
understood
kind of Mickey
anything
Mouse
for a while.
operation are you running?
Listen, if we don't move along quicker, there won't be any vodka left because I'm gonna have to drink it all because I'm so awkward.
You drink... that's a bad habit, Avisa. You should not drink while...
I don't drink normally, but I'm about to start.
Everyone knows their role, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so.
Silas?
Yes.
All right.
All right. So you have the opportunity to have the jump here. Are you going in one by one, or are you going to attempt to surprise it with a surprise round?
Think a big surprise round. That Avisa will start with the throwing of the white
Mhm.
alcohol.
All right. Let's get a group
The
stealth
clear
check.
liquor.
The second highest will be yours versus this creature's perception.
Oh, boy. Hey, 19's not bad. Me and Jerry get a crit, though. Jerry, you roll first.
You bet.
Okay, Jerry's not good at crit. I won't either.
Ooh.
It's that heavy armor.
Wait, do
It's a
you
19 though,
confirm
for-
crits?
Huh?
I was going to say, do you confirm crits?
What do you mean by that?
No, he was
Like
trying to
double
will a crit
roll.
into existence.
I was trying to will a crit into existence.
Yeah, he was trying to will it into
Oh,
Yeah.
got
And he
you. I
failed
was so
miserably.
confused
No,
for
we
a second.
failed horribly. Yeah, we both have
Okay.
heavy armor. It was impossible because we roll a
So
disadvantage.
your second highest, however, is a 19,
Yes, Sam came through.
Which is killer.
which is
It's great.
enough.
It's great.
This is a, this
You
is a rare
all-
moment for me.
Walk into this substance. Even the clinking of your armor is somewhat muffled by the breathing of this thing. Its bones rattle and you just feel almost like I said, like you're in a lung, like all the walls expand and then contract. And this muffles your footsteps as the air in here feels kind of like it's rushing outwards and then inwards. And you're able to take your positions.
Love it.
Go ahead and everyone roll initiative, and the first round will be a surprise round. So the creature cannot act, use reactions, or anything of the nature. Because surprise is actually, I think, like a condition in 5e, which is kind of weird.
Pretty good rolls, except for the one from Dan. But hey, it's initiative.
All
It
right, I
doesn't
have
matter.
to add these. Dun, dun, dun. Wait, is there a way? Here we go. Where? All right, so
I'm ready to have a 37 initiative.
I just realized that while you're feeling or getting the initiative order, we passed on our potential highest damage dealer rummaging through different goods and missing a surprised attack from a thief for the auto surprise damage. So that was probably not the smartest thing, but oh well.
They haven't acted yet.
Yeah. He's
I was
got
gonna
he's
say you
got a
haven't
goal.
acted yet, so you could hold action. Theoretically, you could hold action for Silas's attack and then unleash your attack, and instead state your intent on your. Sorry, I'm doing the metagaming. I'm so bad. I do this
No,
as
no,
a
no.
DM, and then
I get
We
what you're
love
all
saying.
the YouTube comments talk about how I'm a piece of shit. But you could theoretically be like, I'm going to hold action, piercing smite for Silas's attack. You could theoretically do that.
Sure. Silas had a
Um,
goal, had a role, and it was to get that stuff immediately. We're not trying to kill it. We're trying to get out.
Lily's still gonna go on Horo's turn.
Makes
Since
sense.
3 of you rolled the same,
Mm-hmm.
what are your okay, actually I can see them. So it's actually gonna be Vesper last. Is there a way to just drag? Oh, I can. Okay.
Real
Horo roll
power.
20. Yeah, so it's gonna be since Horo has a +1, Virgorov has a +0, and then Vesper has a -1. So that'll be, even though you all rolled the same, you'll go in order of like your modifier, I believe.
Sure.
Traditional.
Okay. So we've got
What did
a
Lily roll?
turn order. I have Lily go on Horo's
okay.
initiative because I feel like
Mhm.
she's always like behind him or in front
It's
of
their
him
bond.
or attached to him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Avisa's
All right.
up.
Avisa.
I'm headed into to sprinkle down a little sauce.
Mhm. Do
As
you want
they
to do
say.
this like quietly, or do you
It's
just
gonna
want to
be
toss it and let it go?
so like if I was to toss it versus if I was to do it quietly, like which ones would you be? Like what would I be rolling for?
Hair.
It depends on where you're throwing it. So, Silas could do a surprise attack if you do aim it for the floor versus for the dragon. And I think that's what you were initially aiming for.
Yeah, for the floor. Okay, I'll just throw it on the floor. I'm just gonna go for it.
Okay. Would you like to do anything with your bonus action or your movement? Since
I
you're
would
aiming
like
for the
to
floor, we're just going to have it work. Like the flask of vodka, it almost looks like a sake bottle, goes crashing and then spreads its vodka everywhere. Go ahead and roll me a d4 to see how much was in it. So in a 30-foot radius, it's actually pretty good. This liquor goes spreading out, kind of absorbing into the strange velvety substance of this membrane that kind of rests over what appears to be some strange creature down below.
Okay, perfect. I would like to take my bonus action to take a step back.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And
You
really,
can do that.
really consider it.
I really just want to think about what I'm doing here.
Horo.
I will turn to Lily. Let's ready something, and then when everybody attacks, we'll throw a spell. He's gonna ready
Gotcha.
a glowing guiding bolt. The color of
Okay.
starlight.
Dragon's breath.
I like that. That's good.
Okay. And
ready.
they both ready their actions, waiting for Silas's mark. Virgo.
I'm gonna. Can I hold an action until I see creatures and then do a champion challenge to draw attack?
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay, that's what I'll do. I will. Is the maybe? Essentially, what I want to do is wait until whatever creatures are going to appear are all appeared, and then do the champion challenge, which will
And bring them in.
Yeah, which will make it'll invoke a wisdom saving roll on any creature that I can see within 30 feet.
Ooh.
And then what does that make them do? Oh, the creature can't willingly move more than 30 feet away from me. And it also compels other creatures to do battle with me. So they would
Okay.
all
It's a
hopefully
tank.
focus on me. Yeah, it's basically a taunt. Yeah.
Amazing. Let me just close some of these tabs I have.
And so we're holding action, and then whenever
Yeah,
all the creatures appear, that'll go off.
and they will.
Yeah,
They will.
exactly.
They're on their way already.
Amazing. Okay. So then it is your turn, Vesper.
Exactly. And I am doing something very similar. As soon as Silas acts, I'm going to plunge. I'm going to do my 2 attacks and plunge the gun lance into the ground underneath where the alcohol is placed and try to do damage to that root structure and set that on fire.
Amazing. Go ahead and this is gonna hit no matter what, so just roll damage. Are you positioning yourself in such a way that you're not going to be caught in the flames?
I'm basically like at the edge of the AOE.
Okay.
Let's see. So that is the lance 6 piercing. That was terrible. And so hang on a second. It's the perforating smite that you want me to get that damage going?
Yeah, because that
that
is
right?
like
Okay.
your gun lance, right?
Yeah, basically, essentially what happens is that in that in a 5-foot wide line in front of me that extends beyond it, each creature in that line makes a dexterity saving throw. So basically, this 6 piercing is just getting dealt out to a huge subterranean area.
Okay. And this will set the flame on fire, which will then deal 5 points of damage per turn to whatever is caught in it.
This is what we love. This is the fantasy anyway. We'll see what happens.
Wait, so did you use the piercing smite?
It's my intention to do that as soon as Silas goes. Yeah.
Ah, so you're okay. Gotcha. I'm sorry. I got
no.
very
It's
confused
so
there
as,
for a
as
minute.
soon as people start holding their actions,
It gets
they're engaging in violence against dungeon masters, and so those are facts.
Okay, and then I've
but
got
I think
my
that's
own.
that's the right numbers.
I'm just writing down some armor classes. Don't mind me.
Get in there.
Multiple.
What numbers are you writing?
Yeah, plural.
You drawing a little picture?
That's like someone on Instagram DM'd me. If you found a bag full of money and the money was equal to your phone number, how much money would you have? That was some shit like that. Like,
As
what
someone
numbers are you
actually said that to you?
writing down? Yes, and I thought it was
Amazing.
hilarious. I wasn't even mad. I was like, that's so much better than, can I have your phone number? Okay.
Very tasteful.
I designed a very crazy boss fight for y'all. So you plunge your spear, your gun lance, through this like membrane with the intent to light it on fire, and you feel like a quiver go up in the cave around you.
Underneath it?
Yes.
Ugh.
Almost like a strange, and you actually, if you're paying attention, see all of the small like filaments like on this strange velvety substance you're standing on come up and begin to tingle. And
like the hairs on your
somewhere
arm.
deep, somewhere deep in the caves, you hear the queen save the cordyceps queen.
Oh, you're like a
And you
bird that's
hear-
shot on the queen's head.
Yeah, you hear
Somebody say
all
bird?
around you.
Do we gotta kill this
You
thing?
see one of the eyes of this like with the multi-filamented, almost like a cluster of mushrooms out of this dragon skull. You see them start to like kind of register your passing as they open.
Ugh.
Silas, it is your turn.
All right. I will first plunge my dagger into the ground.
Okay.
To attack the creature.
Okay.
And since my allies are standing on it, I get the sneak attack. So
Okay.
17 a hit.
That hits.
Okay, so it's 20 damage
20
with the
damage.
magic dagger.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. As your dagger violates this membrane,
Damn, it violates it.
Whoa.
yeah, it
Wow.
almost splits open. Give me a deck save.
15.
You are able to hold on just barely as half of like the floor beneath you kind of caves in, and you see a large maw below you where the
Oh,
fungal
no.
protrusions have almost formed teeth, and you see these multi sort of like almost keratinized rings below you, forming some strange kind of mouth that undulates like some kind of strange sphincter with every step. It kind of rotates a bit as it registers your passing and lets out a large spore cloud. And we are in combat now.
Okay.
Go ahead and use your held actions, friends.
All right. Well, I'll let everyone else go first.
Oh, and I wanted to use my cunning action as a bonus action to dodge.
Amazing. Perfect. So you're able to dodge out of this like spore cloud ejected with force and come back onto somewhat stable ground.
Haro points to the maw. There, Lily. And
Yeah.
launches his guiding bolt.
Yeah.
Starry guiding bolt
Amazing.
into the maw.
Into the maw. That's 12 radiant damage.
Yowza.
Jerry, I don't even know what that is.
I think you clicked show spell description. It didn't work.
Me either. I was just
There you
curious.
go.
I just wanted to see Guiding Bolt.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there we go. The next attack before the end of your turn has advantage. Oh, amazing.
Mhm.
Okay.
So good.
So she is going, Lily, as you say, you know, there, she casts Dragon's Breath. She can choose acid, cold, fire, and lightning. She's going to choose fire. And so you see her like kind of almost like you see her holding aloft her spell book. And as she does, like the pages begin to magically flit through the air. And then almost as though she's like pulling ink off the page, she quickly like forms this orb, swallows it, and breathes out fire in a 15-foot cone.
Wow.
It's a good thing you chose the dodge action, Silas, because otherwise you would have been caught in this.
Very hot.
I'm trying to think who else is near this. Like, oh, I guess Vesper. Give me a deck save.
Oh, I'm really good at that.
I guess Vesper.
He's so nimble.
Yeah.
Hey,
Aha!
Let's go!
let's go.
Amazing.
I saved it for the end.
So 6, 3, 5.
this half
so it's
damage?
11,
Yeah, let's look at her.
and then 6, 17. So you take half of that.
8.
Okay.
Nice.
And
Can do.
this creature takes the full brunt of it. The maw begins to singe and like let out this noxious fume as it begins to like almost
Oh.
crumple in upon itself. Did everybody use their held action?
I need all the creatures that I can see. Is it only the
Ah,
one maw?
okay.
Like, what am I?
It'll happen at the top of the round.
Okay.
You
All
do
right.
see the maw below you, so you could use it for that.
I'd rather wait for the most possible. So I guess top of the round.
Okay.
No, technically, this is just a DM question. An
Mhm.
action for me does involve 2 attacks, so it's possible that I have another attack that hasn't been used.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Go
tell
for it.
me. Here, I'll definitely try to work this lance down into that
This-
zone.
You have, I think you have
Don't,
advantage.
don't
then if
call
you
it
wanna-
that.
With a 21.
Oh,
Yeah, that hits.
21 zone damage. And then for 11 piercing. We love to see it. And
Yo, roll again, see if you get a crit. Because I got him bolted.
oh, that's right. This is all the juice, isn't it? Yow.
No.
Not this time. Now,
Just kidding.
but-
Haha, just kidding.
no, but fear not, friend and ally, because I am going to activate Divine Smite while I'm in there.
Let's go.
I might as
Ooh.
well tack on 10 radiant.
10 radiant damage. you do see the maw begin to like shriek. It lets out almost like a psychic hum. You can feel it in the back of your in the back of your teeth. Like if you had fillings, they would shake.
Yeah. Fillings had been invented.
Fillings have been invented. Let me add some more things to the track.
While you're doing that, I just realized that champion challenge is a bonus action.
Yeah.
But because I
Yes,
missed
so
that,
you could use your action.
instead of like making an attack, I'm gonna cast magic weapon on myself so that I at least get a little bit more damage going into this next round.
Juice.
So that will just give me a +1 to attack rolls and damage rolls.
Sorry.
Are you guys looking at the initiative track?
Oh no, I was not.
No.
Okay.
Should we be? Oh
Yeah.
geez, okay.
There's a
Fungling,
lot of
fungling,
moving
fungling,
components to
fungling,
this
fungling.
fight.
You know,
Oh no.
What?
there's a lot
It's
of
okay.
stuff
You
happening.
actually got really impressive damage on the cord heart before all of this started. If we do this again though, I'm gonna make sure I have tokens and like health bars inside the Roll20 thing because I think that would be cool.
Sure.
As you pummel this heart of this myconid sentience or colony, it lets out like another shuddering psychic screech.
Uh-oh.
It lets out another like almost like a vortex of spores. Everyone that's within 5 feet of it, I believe that's Silas, Virgo, and Vesper. Lily has a 15-foot range. What is your range, Horo?
It was 60, but I'll be stood next to Lily, so.
Okay, perfect. So you two are spared. Make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw.
That me?
Yes.
Dan passes.
Ooh, good save, Dan.
Jerry passes.
Amazing. Yep.
I failed by 2.
Ooh. Virgo, you begin to feel tired as these spores settle on you. You actually hear something in your mind. You hear a voice say, "Oh, calm down. What if we were to all go to sleep?" And you are stunned. You can repeat the saving throw on the end of your turn to shake off the effect, but you feel like your eyelids grow heavy and you feel yourself kind of begin to be lulled into a pacified state. You no longer want to fight this creature.
Did at least champion challenge go off before this? So, how does that work? Is everything just pissed at me and I'm
yeah.
like,
Don't care.
ah,
They still want to kill you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that just puts a very large. If your intent was for things to attack you, that is what will happen.
Okay, great, fantastic. I just won't have. Okay, got it.
Avisa, it is your turn.
That is so exciting. I'm very excited for that.
The membrane of this creature is on fire, so it did take fire damage at the top of the round.
Okay.
From the vodka catching fire.
Mm-hmm.
From this great vodka gunlance combination.
Well, I don't want to mess that up. So could I just are there specific things that we can aim at now? As I see there are multiple things on the turn order.
Yes, you do see from probably the very edge of your vision these strange creatures. They have like large, jagged, almost wickedly curved toadstool caps, and their faces are kind of stretched, almost like a human face, but longer. You wonder if at some point these were people. They move, dragging their claws along the ground, leaving these like ruts behind them. They're about 30 feet away from you.
Sick. Then I would love to use my witch bolt on them.
Perfect.
One of one of the ones that's within range.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just roll that and pray.
A 21 hits.
Nice.
Nice.
That's it.
Whoa, wait.
Is that wrong?
No, I think. Wait, is that right? Hold on.
We're level 5, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 29 damage. I just want to make sure.
Jumping.
The fungling you aim at blows up into a large purple glittery like area of smoke as its like top head ruptures, letting out this thing. It lets out a and falls to the ground.
I kind of feel bad about that,
Yeah, did you just
honestly.
kill like a small Pixar character? Like what?
Yeah.
Another
The
fungling
mascot.
enters the clearing. Oh, actually, would you like to do anything with your bonus action, or would you like to move, Avisa?
I'm just gonna hang out where I am.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay. Another fungling enters the clearing. It comes racing in and is going to attempt to, well, I guess like it's going to go for Virgo since that is the easiest target. Virgo, unfortunately, since you're stunned,
It's
you
auto attacks,
can't.
right?
Yeah, it can't.
hits,
You
rather?
can't. You automatically fail saving throws, and attack rolls against you are made with advantage.
Well, here
This-
now there is a rule interaction that I would like to.
Mhm.
Again, I'm not trying to be a bad person,
Mhm.
but I do have. I do
Well, you
have.
are.
Well, it's been said. I do have something that I took for moments just like this called fighting style protection.
Mhm.
Oh.
I don't know, but basically I can use my reaction to impose disadvantage on an attack roll. But if there isn't an attack roll,
In this
does-
case, there's
does
not
this
an
even
attack
work?
roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to check.
Instead, you just see this fungling creature come rushing forth. It wraps its arms like almost in a hug around Virgo
Ugh.
and then explodes. As it does, it coats you in a strange acidic substance, this strange yellow / like acid green snot spore perfusion comes or I should say infusion comes pouring out of it. And I guess it's suicide bombs all over you. You automatically fail the roll to save.
Come.
So you are doused in
Oop.
19 points of acid damage as the acid comes pouring down your armor and your body.
Got it.
You all smell like sizzling flesh as this creature explodes. And is there anybody within a 5-foot radius to Virgo?
But I thought that I was. This would be a
Mhm.
great time for me to change my mind on that. But I was trying to defend him before, and that requires that I be within 5. So it's my own fault.
Yeah. So you take half of that damage.
Okay, so what is that? Is it rounding down?
Yes. So I
So
think it would
9?
be 8. No, wait, how much you took?
I thought you said. I'm
17
sorry.
points of damage?
I thought you
Or-
said 19.
I thought 19.
Oh, 19. Okay, yes. So it would be 9.
You bet.
You take
Got it.
9 points of acid damage as this fungling goes wee.
Okay.
And you now notice all the funglings are indeed different flavors. Some tinged with green, some tinged with red, some tinged with purple. Each of them, their eyes kind of glowing with this strange malevolence, their maws kind of hanging open as their like fists drag in the ground, eager to wrap themselves around you. Vesper, it is your turn.
Yeah. Now, what do we think, fellow Slayers? Do we think that the boss is actually
The
the
hive
one
mind.
at the apex of this? I mean that's more or less what our dungeon master admitted to us, perhaps in a moment of weakness.
I think that's
Definitely a
right.
moment
Was
of
it
weakness.
a moment
yes.
of weakness or was it a really good roll by Dan?
I think
Well,
you
honestly, it
you
was a
take out the
kick-ass roll.
head honcho.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me like putting the stab down in there, but also trying to bring you back online. Is that the sort of thing I could? That
I think
disease
Horo
effect,
can help with that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oro's got
Bless would
disease.
help.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bless would be good.
So I'm just going to try to dump a bunch of damage down into this thing. That's the fantasy scenario, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so let's try it. I am going to attack.
Are you
My
still
lance.
getting advantage from guiding bolt or no?
It's just one, I think.
It's just the next attack.
Okay.
So it's gone now.
It's such a good. God, it's such a good spell, though. Here we go. First
Hey,
attack.
25 hits.
Yeah,
One off crit.
One should hope. 11 piercing. And then I have one more divine smite. I think I should use. But I have another cool ability actually. It's called Inspiring Smite. And so after I deal my divine smite damage, which is 8 radiant,
Mm-hmm.
I have the ability to give one of my allies, and it can include me, 2d8 plus my level in illusory hit points.
Okay.
So I think I should do that.
Are you low in health?
I'm down there, yeah. I'm not proud of it. So 18. So if you want to take 9 temporary hit points, JP, and I'll take 9.
Okay.
You can split. I can split them up over the two of us. So
Great.
that'll hopefully give us a little bit of a buffer.
Yeah,
Next
that
time
puts
one of
me
them tries to hug us.
It puts me back to 20, so that's good.
Good. That's one attack, and I'll just attack again
Okay, go ahead.
because I love to attack. 9 piercing damage.
Another 9 damage.
I think it's the right target. That's what I believe. This is not in my book.
Okay. As you punch down with your gun lance into this maw before you, you do see it begin to, like I said, kind of fold in on itself. Give me a insight check.
You bet.
Not
Its
bad.
breathing is getting shallow. You feel like it is indeed within its death throes.
Really?
Yes.
And as I notice that, am I seeing a change in the behavior of its thralls?
You do notice they are almost frenzied at this point in desperation. You also notice the strange undead dragon before you is beginning to stir.
Okay.
It just moves really slowly. Its bones are kind of like starting to snap into place. It's beginning to like draw in the spores around it and fill up these like membranous
Oh, this
lungs that it's created for itself. And
some
it's
kind of
letting out this
sac.
like strange sigh. Yeah.
All right.
An
Right.
amniotic sac, if you will.
If you will, yeah, I'm going to intimate this information to the party. Then I say it is at the very verge of its death, and that has apparently woken up this dragon, and which will eventually, in my heroic arc, is going to be a focus, but not this afternoon.
Virgo, you are stunned. Go ahead and repeat that saving throw to see if you can shake off the effect of these pacifying spores.
It's a 15, right?
You got this. Zip.
No,
That's not it.
that's not it at
Virgo
all. Jerry.
remains in a stunned state. You notice like almost like his eyes like beginning to flit open and then like growing heavy once more. Da, da, da. And I was just checking. Yeah, I don't think that the damage actually nullifies that effect. That's gnarly. I made a really
That's
mean
gross.
creature.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done.
That's a very it's a very mean creature. It is then Horo's turn
How are you doing
because
for
the other
Elf?
fungling was dispatched by Avisa.
How are you doing for Elf, JP?
I'm at 20, but I would assume there's more bombers en route.
I can super nuke them more, or
I
can
think
just
super
throw some healing.
nuke's the way. I think super nuke's the way.
Okay.
Because even if I die, you can just bring me like D&D, just heal me and I'm back up, right? Like I'm working again.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Horror kneels down, and you hear him say, "I form a parallel with the cosmic Luna," and he reaches up, and as he reaches, his skin starts to break, and stars and night start to replace it until his entire body is covered in stars. And I'm going to assume my starry form with the shape of a chalice constellation on his chest. Let me just...
Does David Bowie start
there.
to play? Like what?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, really softly. And that's my bonus action. And then he will turn to the Moor, and he reaches into his pouch, and he discards some moon seeds. And he'll say, "The chromatic moon is a good omen for the faithful, but bad news for you. Moonbeam!" And a moon will begin to
that's the
form
best.
above the Moor. I'm going to upcast this to 3rd level.
What's great is this creature can't move, so the
Yeah.
Moonbeam is just gonna
Moonbeam's
hit
gonna
it every
obliterate it.
round. Yeah.
It's grotesque.
Post it for you guys. So it's going to be a DC con save of 15.
Well, I rolled a 2 on a D10. Come on, bro. But a 10 on a D10. Man, that's fun.
I got an 18.
No.
Okay, so half damage. So it's
Okay.
8 radiant damage this turn. And then
Perfect.
on its turn, it will again take 3d10 radiant damage.
Ooh, 3d10 on
Yeah.
its turn.
3d10
Amazing.
searing moonlight.
The caves. Oh, wait, it's Lily's turn. Lily is going to chromatic orb at the myconid that is closest to you, or rather the fungling that is closest to you. Let's see. So she hurls a 4-inch diameter of fire, and she's going to make a ranged spell attack. She has to beat a 12. She rolled an 11 with her modifier. Oh no. So I think
Madam.
the chromatic orb goes wide, unfortunately, exploding with fire right next to the fungling. She looks super embarrassed as she does so. It says, "I'm sorry for letting you guys down." And let's see if she could do anything with her bonus action.
Have you ever been embarrassed in front of your crush when they're in their starry form?
She's so
Like,
embarrassed
The
right now.
best form.
She's
Ugh.
so embarrassed right now. She doesn't know what to do with herself.
Imagine watching your crush become just like a beam of moonlight and stars. She's
You guys
struggling
are
right
making
now.
it worse.
I'm a whole ass
Very-
galaxy. All right, I'm a whole ass galaxy. The moon's over
It's
there.
very aesthetic.
That's what flustered her. And you just, you notice like she kind of just like awkwardly kind of stands at your back to like cover your back as the funglings charge. The first one comes streaming into the sort of like circular chamber that you are in. Is your challenge still up, Virgo? How long does that last?
Let's see. It ends on the creature if you're incapacitated or die, or if the creature is more than 30 feet away from you. Is being stunned count as incapacitated? I think it does.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
It would have ended then.
it's off, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. That's okay. I missed that on the first thing, the champion challenge. So that first fungling probably wouldn't have hit you.
I'm glad it did. I got healed. Well, that was great.
Okay, so
The tank is tanking.
these next 3, who they go for is going to be determined by like the order you're standing in. So one's going to go for Horo and Lily. The other one's going to go for Vesper and Virgo. And the last one is going to try to make its way to the heart of the queen where Avisa and Silas are kind of positioned. So for the first one, for Horo and Lily, Lily's standing at your back, so she will actually take the brunt of the first damage. It comes in with the wee and then explodes in an explosion of red, like spore-like substance. Its head then like cracks open and it falls to the ground dead, kind of being reabsorbed by this velvety maw that you're in. This deals, let's see. Oh, that's high. 16 psychic damage. And she has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ugh. Fan favorite NPC. Real danger.
Yeah, that's actually she's a wizard, so she doesn't have a lot of health left. And
No.
then the wisdom saving throw. Oh my god, I got a 1.
She spent too much time in school.
Yeah, you see her eyes kind of glaze over as she reaches for like a dagger at her belt and turns on Horo in a treacherous fashion.
no!
His back's turned, so he's like, Lily,
Heel
keep up the
turn.
good work.
Oh, now he's never gonna date her.
Look, this is destined in the stars right here. Okay,
Senpai
so-
didn't notice me, dude. She's coming.
Yeah.
The next Fungling goes rushing towards you, Vesper, where you're kind of standing guard over Virgo. This
Right.
one explodes in a spray of like orange and green spores.
Yeah. I'm just trying to catch it as much as
Mhm.
I can on the shield. Like I don't. This is all about Virgo.
Dealing 18 damage as like the spores kind of inflame your skin. Give me a constitution save. Also, Horo, make a dex save to see if you can avoid taking half of the damage from
Damn.
those psychic spores.
Vesper with the
Oh,
crit.
psychic spores.
Mm-hmm.
Am I taking guaranteed damage?
Well, it'll determine whether or not you take the splash damage, if that makes
20.
sense. So you don't. You're able to kind of like deftly move out of the way in your starry form, and you don't take the 8 damage from the spore backlash from the explosion.
Cool.
Vesper, you feel like the orange spores begin to like solidify and get sticky on your skin. And as they begin to form a carapace, like kind of hindering your movement, you are able to crack this membrane off. You immediately fail any dex saves, unfortunately, Virgo. So you take half of that damage outright.
Ugh.
How much damage was it? Sorry.
Wait, how did I roll for damage, Jerry?
It was 18.
18.
Okay.
So you take 9.
I'm taking 9.
Mm-hmm.
Back down to 11.
The last Fungling is going for Silas, the one who like tore open this membrane and started this whole thing. It goes
Yeah,
rushing
it's
forward
weird.
with that whee and explodes. Give me a dex save. Avisa and Silas.
11.
11.
Oh, twins.
Yeah,
Twinsies.
twinsies.
All right. The both of you 6, 7, 8. The both of you take 8 damage as this creature kind of like explodes into a flurry of needles that pierce both of you. And with that, the dragon awakens.
No, we gotta go.
Its sacs kind of filling with this spore. You hear the fluids kind of begin to as this creature comes to life, and it says, "Anhurana." And it swings its tail around and attempts to hit you, Horo, since you're like the shiniest thing in this cave.
Guilty.
Guilty as charged.
Does a dirty 20 hit?
I mean,
Yeah.
when DMs ask if something hits and they know it hits, you know what I mean? Am I right? Am I right, gamers? Yeah, it hits. Yeah, it hits.
Mhm.
I
I got
don't
12
have
AC.
It's when they
I
ask
don't-
for your armor class, you know it's gonna hit hard.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Does a 30 hit you?
I don't have
Yes,
a.
DM. You know it hits me. You just want me to say it.
I don't have a D8 on my desk, so I'm gonna roll it digitally. Oh my god! Now you know my
Dear
rolls are like I have
Lord.
DM rolls right now. On
Shazam.
chat on a D8, I rolled a 7 and an 8. Well, oh, you could see it there. Yeah,
Yeah.
21
Yeah.
points of bludgeoning damage as the tail comes crashing down on you, lifting up this like thin sort of film of spores off of the ground of this membrane that you're all perched very precariously on. The last Fungling comes streaming into the clearing. I'm going to roll a d4 to determine
Okay.
which group
I
it
need
goes
to
for.
roll to maintain concentration, correct?
Yes, so you'll have to beat a 10.
Was that wisdom save?
No, I
Should be a
believe
con.
it's a con save. Yeah.
Con save.
But
A 6.
10
The
or higher to keep
moon
it.
disappears.
No, that's no. The whole thing is. It's all about.
Wait,
the
are you
moon.
blessed?
No, we don't. Unless unless it's been what, an hour since.
last minute, so
Oh, it's.
I was
Oh,
never
no,
blessed.
it's gone.
I was never blessed. I eloped on.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
right.
On a goat.
You did elope.
Yeah,
correct.
I was never blessed.
Yeah, that's correct.
So thinking of who is facing the entrance to this clearing, it's Horo, Lily, Vesper, and Virgo are the closest. So on a 1, it goes for Lily, 2 Horo, 3 Vesper, 4 Virgo. Remember that for me.
I'm 4.
It's a 1, so it goes for Lily.
Oh.
Going and exploding once more. This time in that acid green. Dealing. Oh, that's high. Dealing 12 points of acid damage with an additional 6 to you, Horo, unless you can make the dex save.
Okay.
Ooh, Lily looks
16.
hurt, but it's not okay. So, you don't wait. Yeah, you don't take that damage. The acid crashes against Lily. She looks really rough. The bright side is you do notice her eyes kind of shift from that reddish color back to their normal color, and she looks almost confused at the dagger in her hand as she places it back in her belt. Between all of us, she has 6 hit points left.
Ouch.
Okay.
Well,
Silas, it is your
it's
turn.
It's time to go. We got to get these treasures.
I'm going to plunge my dagger into the big creature and hopefully finish it off.
The
All
heart?
right, roll to hit.
12.
It is not able to penetrate.
It's probably
this.
a fucking 13 or 14 or something.
Yeah, it's so close. This creature's like tough hide.
Okay, that I
Yes, accurate.
Accurate.
I will move back towards the party some little bit, so more towards the entrance.
Okay,
Mhm.
perfect. Yeah, you are unable to finish it off. We are now at the top of the round. The cord heart lets out another puff, like kind of like it's hacking or coughing up of these spores in desperation. Everyone give me a con save.
Do I even need to, or does it just hit for me being stunned?
Oh, I think it does just hit. You've been
Yeah, it should
stunned
just
for
hit.
so long. Oh my goodness. So a 19, a 16.
That should be the first
All
one.
right.
If it's the same
Oh, wait.
save.
19, 16, 14, 19. So, Silas, Virgo, you begin to feel those first symptoms of like the fungal lung set in. You feel your vision occlude a little bit. Your mucosal membranes get a little bit inflamed. You feel your noses and your eyes watering, but you don't take any damage. Thankfully,
Okay.
you haven't already suffered the first stage of infection the way Avisa and Horo have.
Yeah.
And the cord heart lets out another shriek. Once again, you hear the caverns around you with the cord queen, save the queen. Avisa, it is your turn. Looking at the cord heart and with the information Vesper has given you, you do realize like it is sort of calling out desperately for help now.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I just want to make sure. So for the spell that I mysteriously found in this pack of papers, is the cord heart, since it is like literally the mitochondria, if you will, or the powerhouse of the cell?
What
Yeah.
the fuck is going on?
I don't know if you're familiar
Yeah.
with the parts of the cell, but
The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Everybody should know that.
Yeah, right.
Can I use this burning hands? I don't know like what distance away from this. You said I'm close to the heart.
Yeah. It's a 15-foot cone.
yeah, you could point it right down there.
Yeah,
It
I was
does.
just hoping to basically put this cone of fire inside of this.
Do
this
it. Go
open heart.
ahead.
Yeah.
Roll me 4d6 fire.
Get the premium scroll.
How do
Celeste opted for the good one.
How do I roll for fire?
You could just roll the base damage and we'll count it as fire.
Okay.
Ooh,
Whoa.
high math.
Not bad.
Yeah.
That's the heat.
Actually, really lucky because it had exactly 33 hit points left, and you dealt 34 with the fire damage modifier.
There we
There
go.
we go.
Let's
The
go,
scroll
Avisa.
hangs
Pro
suspended
tier.
for a moment in your hands and then dissolves as your hands form this triangle almost instinctually, and in between your fingertips emits a jet stream of fire directly into this Sarlacc's pit-esque maw. The entire thing begins to like curl and little wisps of smoke come off of it, and then it just cracks and crumbles, kind of taking the floor of it with you. You all realize this cavern is actually coming down around you rather quickly, but you hear the myconids almost in the distance, and with a death wail you see a Huranoth, the giant myconid dragon, begin to like dissolve as these like strange mucosal like tendons holding it together begin to dissolve and back into like mist almost.
Right. Listen, so
Oh.
this sounds very dangerous. We have
Yeah.
to scoop up as many of these holy relics of our fallen, friends as we can. And then we have to go.
All right. Give me perception checks to see what you all grab.
Am I still
Yes.
stunned?
At this point, you are free from the grasp of the spores.
Okay. I think I'm still mid attack, so I just like put down a huge attack on absolutely nothing.
Mhm.
And then I'll do my perception.
Amazing.
Nice. A big old 7.
Avisa, you find some strange slippers on the ground. They look to be made of like a membrane-like material, but not fungal in nature. Almost like they're made of spider silk. For a moment, they almost look translucent when you hold them up near your like the light that is being cast in this cave. You have found the slippers of spider climbing, clearly left here by some unfortunate adventurer, and who knows how long ago.
This would have been
What else
really
did we
useful on
get?
that cliff face.
Yeah. Just walk vertically
Silas,
down.
you find a small golden chest. When you look it open and peep inside, you see a beautiful, intricately painted Fabergé egg with a like the sort of painting, almost like a lovely rose painting of a dragon with roses around its horns and like in its mouth, and it kind of spreads out all around the side of this egg. You're not sure what its value is, but even at a glance, you can tell this is worth its weight in gold. Probably worth its weight in diamonds to the right buyer.
Hey. Very nice.
The rest of you only see the fallen 3 comrades around you, a half elf, a half orc, and a tiefling.
Do we notice exactly the insignia or whatever that we need to collect?
You would notice them wearing guild armor.
We were asked to collect the bodies, right?
Oh, was it the full bodies? Okay.
You said bring them home, yeah.
Yeah. I'll try to throw the bodies over my shoulders, or at least 2.
Yeah.
Vesper, grab the
What's your
third.
carrying capacity?
That's a good question. Where is that actually dictated?
Let me
'Cause I
see.
know
I believe it has to do with your
It's
strength modifier.
score multiplied by 15, I believe.
Yeah.
So 18 times 15. I can carry 270. And I'm already
Okay,
wearing,
so
if you want to factor in my current equipment weight, I'm at 133.
you are easily able to pick up the half elf and throw them over your shoulder. You could probably drag the tiefling behind you, but you would be slowed a bit.
Okay. Vesper, what can you carry?
Yeah, my strength is 16. So
Oh yeah, so you can easily carry the half orc.
Yeah. I'll make that my task.
Okay. And then so what? There's the half elf, half orc, and then the tiefling is the other one.
Lily can cast levitate on the tiefling to make them feather light, and that way you can just grab them and bring them with you without the.
Yeah.
If Lily wants to do that, then I'll grab the tiefling.
Okay, perfect.
Oh,
yeah, Lily like very rapidly casts levitate on the tiefling, allowing you to grab them and run with them very easily.
Great. Yeah, we grab the bodies and hoof it out of there.
You flee from the cavern as these spongy latticework walls come crashing down around you, letting out waves of spores. As you like sort of run, everyone give me athletics checks.
I have a +7. I rolled a 10.
Oh.
Oh my god. We're terrible.
I have a negative
no.
1.
11. Oh, God.
8.
Yeah. You all manage to make it to the very clearing. You can see the sun, the setting sun. It's so close, but so far. And as you do, a large piece of like the roof, like the sort of lattice work that's like kind of holding this place together, comes crashing down on Avisa's leg. But you are able to make it out. Some of you worse the wear with the lung rot. Everyone that rolled below a 12, you take one status of the sort of infection that's begun to take hold. So that means if you were previously unaffected, now you have disadvantage on perception checks. For those of you
Stage
that
2?
were all
I think we're all stage 2. Yeah.
yeah, those of
Isn't
you that are
everyone?
stage yeah, I think so. Those of you that are stage 2, you take 4 points of damage and you gain disadvantage on constitution saves until you can get this cleared up.
I think it's probably time to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting pretty bad.
I mean, how much lay on hands do you have left,
15.
Virgo? Yeah, I mean,
I can also
each
cast Lesser
5
Restoration twice, so that's 2 cures.
Yeah, I mean, each use of alternatively, we can just use 5 hit points from the pool to cure the target of 1 disease or neutralize 1 poison. So I would be happy to perform this service on Silas and Horo. It sounds like there's a lot of product.
Yeah, I've got 3 uses of it. We also maybe do we need to worry about the bodies? We don't want to take it back to the society.
You do notice they are like overgrown with small spores everywhere. Although the psychic spores have like lost their effect here. And in fact, as you look out into the mangrove forest, uh even you, Avisa, with 12 points of crushing damage as your ankle is turned into jelly.
I mean, there's not much difference, let's be honest. Like,
You do
It's wet up here and then gelatinous.
notice
yeah.
the large fungal structures begin to crumble and kind of break apart and fall into the standing water. However, this like strange pond scum-esque infection is still here. You would imagine that it will take time to clear up, but that maybe future people won't be sick here anymore. But the psychic effect of the spores is gone now. That is no longer of concern. I know I was talking about like hallucinogenic and mind altering effects.
Right.
With your successful rolls from earlier, especially Avisa with the nat 20, you can surmise that although these spores are still physically racking your body, you won't become slaves to the cord heart.
Okay. Can we like
Great.
dip them in some water on our way back? You know what I mean? Clear them out. Go clear them out a little bit.
You want to go feed them to the mermaid or whatever?
No.
Horrible
Actually,
expensive
that's a
stars.
terrible idea. Thank you for bringing that up.
What were
I
you
will
saying,
expend the stars from his body to create aura vitality, and so everyone will begin rapidly healing.
Oh, Lily looks very grateful for this with her 9 hit
Feeling
points
vital.
and
Yeah, it's 2d6 every
beginning
turn,
fungal infection.
which then becomes 1d8 plus wisdom modifier to another every turn. So it's a
Ooh.
lot of
Yeesh.
healing.
Dang.
That's that hot.
Yeah.
You rest here as evening stretches its beautiful blue palm across the sky. The stars twinkle out between the fingers, and you feel at home here for a moment, Horo. The mangrove forest seems more peaceful than it was before, and you have successfully completed your mission.
Horo turns to Lily. He says, Lily, the stars told me I would find love today, but I was looking in the wrong place. Here you are, bright as a star.
Ah,
It's you.
do you made it?
Yes, Lily.
Oh my goodness!
I've been a fool.
Ah, Horo!
She throws her arms around your neck, and you've never seen this tiny goblin look happier than in this moment. Virgo, if you ponder on the 4 stars in your hand and wonder if maybe they found their rightful homes.
Yeah.
I say, yeah. See, Virgov and I are both men of the cloth. mean,
Vesper, what are you trying to say by that?
I mean, are we fucking around here? Or are you guys ready to make this official?
I see.
Us?
Yes, he brings up a great point.
Lily, let us be betrothed under the stars.
Do you mean it?
Why not? I'm young and irresponsible.
I do.
You do what?
I will. I mean.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes. Cloth men. Do
I
your
couldn't
thing.
imagine a more beautiful place to marry you, Horo. Of all the different
Yes.
ways I dreamed that this would happen, this was not it, but it's perfect.
Yes, in the dark, diseased mire of this swamp.
But we healed it together.
We did.
Itself.
I truly believe we could do anything together, Horo.
Lily, I need to talk about St. Beauregard for a while.
Silas, I'm glad you lived long enough to see my special day. Thank you.
It is almost 55 full minutes. There are parts where incense is lit. There's parts where incense is doused. Some parts are sung. Unfortunately, there is one portion that is danced. But at the end of this process, these two are wed.
Aww, that's so long.
That was my nightmare, but congratulations, I guess.
Yeah, Silas fall back asleep like 10 minutes into the
Oh, absolutely.
I think Silas, while everyone's been distracted by this wedding, has been slowly sneaking away with this giant egg that he found.
forever to be lost.
Silas?
He's ready
one
to
else has seen
retire
it.
now.
Yeah, that's it. That's the last job.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I think that's a great way to end. I'm gonna have to invite Bronze back so we can play some D&D where I'm stunned the entire action round. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so sorry.
I was looking at my spells too. Lesser Restoration cures everything except stun.
Yeah.
I was like,
Stun is
I guess
such
you're
a
dead. That's
very
gnarly
strong.
condition.
I
It's
guess you're
such, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
It's like great to use against enemies too, though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
super
very
strong.
powerful. Anyways, let's do some shout outs.
Nice work. Nice work.
Why did start? Did you just click star map?
Misclick. I'm trying to close. I have so many
Jesus,
things open. I'm trying to
Strippin,
close
you
them.
just like
We know you're a
yeah,
druid.
we
Sam.
really
God.
understand that you're trying to get Luxie. She's not even on the show anymore. You just blocked her out.
Look, if you want to see my true ability, there it is. Cursed. Okay. Thank you.
Well, now you're saying Bronze is cursed here on this stream.
Yeah,
I don't-
That's not.
These are
that's
dark
not
tidings.
oral.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do some shout
Thank you all for joining me for this one shot. You're fantastic. Who are we going to first, JP? Take it away, Dan.
Dan, do it.
Oh, okay.
Let's-
Hi, everybody. I'm DansGaming, variety streamer. Thanks for having me on this show. It was a lot of fun. It was a great DM, great cast. I had so much fun playing Silas, and I hope to do this again sometime with this group. This group was amazing. But again, thanks for having me on the show. I'm a variety streamer. I'll be playing Lego Star Wars after this tonight. If you want to check that out, it's a fun little game. Otherwise, thanks for having me on the show, and I hope to do this again sometime.
Fantastic.
Strippin.
What's up, everybody? My name's Strippin. You can find me at twitch.tv/Strippin. Mostly every day at 2 Eastern. I play shit. Sometimes badly, other times averagely. Come by.
Luxie.
Oh, hey. Nice to have you here. My name is LuxieGames. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch as well. I also stream at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Strippin, I didn't know that. I'm currently playing through Kirby, so if you would like to see the cutest version of War possible, we're doing that.
Let's collab, though?
Please.
Jerry.
Oh, this is very exciting. Look, this is very exciting. Look, I have my own little window. It's just
Yep.
me. I'm having a great time. Hello, I am Tycho Brahe. I write the comic strip Penny Arcade with my good friend Mike Kulik. I founded the charity Child's Play. You can find that at childsplaycharity.org. I also founded the PAX convention with some friends of mine, and that is coming up near the end of this month. So if you're out Boston way, roll through. I think that we also have the only brewing show on Twitch, and you can find that Tuesdays, noon Pacific, at twitch.tv/Penny Arcade.
I've had some of the brew. It's delicious.
It ain't bad.
I'm jealous. I never got. All I got was vinyls. Jerry, where's the brew?
I can hook it up, man. I can hook it up.
What do I got going on? Tomorrow we got Drop Frames. Myself, Zeke, Carnage are going to be on that. Rami Ismail will be the guest. Should be a fun show. You can find me in Bronze on Monday, where we're going to have to tell Jesse that the 10th marriage is not happening because Bronze and Strippin are now married. So
yeah, it happened.
Tune in for that on Monday, and then we'll see where we go. I stream every single day at 1 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to drop on by the channel. Bronze, I'm going to ask you to do some shout-outs because it's awkward for the host to just do them. So it's your turn now, Bronze.
Hi, hello. I'm that bronze girl. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in the DM seat. And thank you to the players for putting up with my nonsense. I stream full-time on Twitch. My schedule is crazy this week, though, so it's better to follow me on Twitter because in addition to running games, I'm also a writer for games. And it's deadline week on a bunch of projects I can't publicly talk about. They are D&D related, and when you see the announcements, you're going to shit yourself. So, yeah. That's me. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, MCU crew on Mondays. And if you are looking for an ongoing D&D game, Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I run a homebrew campaign on my channel called Shikar. That's it. That's all I got.
Awesome.
That's funny.
I think that's it. We're done. We're out of here.
Thank you so much for DMing for us, bro.
Yeah, thank you,
Oh,
Bronze.
of course.
Also,
You guys are all so amazing.
I want to give a huge shout out to Elu and Barry. Elu did all the graphics for this, and Barry did all the programming and whatnot, and they did it in like
Very cool.
4 or 5 days. So shout out to both of them for crushing it and putting in all the work for that. So
An absolute triumph.
indeed. Bronze, take us out. We're done. We're out of here.
That's it. We're done. If you like this and you want to see another one, tweet us. I can't guarantee anything will happen, but there you go. Have a good one and stay classy. Don't get married to a goblin after you've known her for 6 hours.
Boom.
Wait, why not?
Why not? Wait. Oh God. Good luck.